Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, reporters Tad Stefanak, John Vias, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris. Anthony Matos with sports, Peter Brown with the weather, Marge Yetman with not with community calendar, that's Gretchen Carey, Marge Yetman with senior news. Thank you for joining us. The average Burlington taxpayer will see their property taxes rise by about $292 this year, bringing the average total tax bill to just under $6,400. It's the lowest possible increase of all the options presented to the Select Board this week, and it also represents a decrease in the total tax rate from $9.40 in fiscal year 2023 to $8.94 in fiscal 24. The discrepancy, a falling tax rate but rising average taxes, is due to rising property values, which Select Board member Nick Priest says is because Burlington residential properties are still in high demand.
This is a byproduct of our own success. The area does well, so too our taxes rise. If residents want to see the taxes reduced, then at this point we would need to reduce services to actually, in effect, bring that down. And I have yet to meet a resident who wants to lose services.
Burlington's rates are lower, and the aggregate total of taxes are lower than most surrounding communities, including Billerica and Waltham, in part because business pays a higher rate per thousand due to classification. This year, companies will pay 62% of all taxes collected in Burlington. By comparison, in Boston, business pays about 58% of all property taxes in 2022, according to the Pioneer Institute. The 13-member Police Station Building Committee is now complete with the appointment of the fifth and final residential member of the committee. The first 12 members were appointed at the last Select Board meeting 2 weeks ago, but there were only 4 applicants for the 5 available slots for community members. The Select Board put out another call and got 8 applications for the final spot. The most qualified applicant, according to the Select Board, was Alex Ferguson. The committee will now get to work determining the best course of action to replace the 123-year-old police station. The members of the High School Building Committee have been officially sworn in, and they're beginning the process of redesigning that building. Among their first assignments is to choose a designer. They'll list the ad on a central register and set up times for interested firms to walk through the building and create a short list of candidates by mid-January. They hope to award the contract by January 31st. It was just a few weeks ago the committee selected Dorr and Whittier as its owner's project manager, a major partner in the project. It's the same OPM that's helping the district rebuild Fox Hill. Superintendent Eric Connie discussed the decision to double down on Dorr and Whittier. Here he is.
I wasn't technically on the selection committee for the high school, but I know the process that they followed, and I was pleased that Dorr and Whittier came out as our top choice from that process.
What has been some of the highlights, or what distinguishes them in your relationship, your experience working with them on the Fox Hill project so far?
I think they're just very attentive. I think they're flexible thinkers. I think they understand that context matters, so the process that they use in Burlington may not be the same process that they use in a different community, and I think they've been flexible to make those adjustments. We ask from them for a lot of information. I think they've been very responsive to our requests.
Now for a story about the past and the present colliding. While Burlington Police Lieutenant Glenn Mills was celebrating his 5th birthday back in 1975, his father, then a Burlington Police Force member himself, was at the scene of a homicide. Almost 50 years later, that murder remains unsolved, but for Lieutenant Mills, he's working with the Middlesex District Attorney's Office, hoping to solve it once and for all.
May 22nd, 1975, there was a person who was out in the Muller Road area, and they had noticed something in the ground. I believe they were walking a dog. The dog was picking at the ground, and they went over and looked, and they saw what they thought was maybe a human hand or some bones. They called the police. We went down and found out there was a body there in that area. The medical examiner at the time determined that this person was killed with 2 gunshot wounds to the head. It was a white male, dark hair. He was wearing a military-style jacket, Converse-type sneakers, jeans. One thing that was distinctive, he did have a unique medallion on, and that was probably the best clue that we had to who this person might be. The medallion, it was probably the face mask of comedy and tragedy, but if you look at it, it's a little strange too. It could be something else. There were theories about the motorcycle gang because of the medallion. There were also some people that theorized that maybe this had something to do with Whitey Bulger, and that group had been very active throughout this area, killing people. They'd asked the informants back then, and in more recent years, they asked them, and they said, nope, that's not one of ours.
Despite those leads, the body was never identified, which meant it was hard to generate leads on a suspect. But as technology evolved, detectives kept trying new approaches, like adding the case to online databases. But it's a much more recent development that might finally crack this case: genetic genealogy, or identifying victims and suspects of crimes by linking them to relatives' DNA uploaded to sites like 23andMe or Ancestry DNA.
And today, you'll see multiple cases every single day now are being solved using this technique. So we exhumed the body in May. We got a search warrant, took the body up. They reassembled the skeletal remains and looked at everything again. And then now they need to just extract DNA. Typically, they said some of the leg bones would be the best source of that. And then they will work with a specialist to try to figure out where this came from, and then a genetic genealogy type profile will be done, and hopefully we'll find a match in a family member. In 1975, this guy is in his 20s, his early 20s probably, and he's got parents, he's got a family somewhere. Back then the families were bigger than they are today, but he has parents, and I thought, it'd be great if at the very least we could identify him. Maybe we'll never figure out who killed him, but we should identify him and we should let his parents know. And every year that goes by, I keep thinking, well, his parents are getting older and older, or maybe they've already passed away. So I would like to have some relief for them, that at least they could find out what happened to their son.
Mills hopes to get the DNA results back in the coming months. For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
The Burlington Police Department has been awarded $36,000 to address local traffic safety issues. The grant, which comes from the Mass Municipal Roadway Safety Grant Program, is to support traditional law enforcement activities and develop new strategies for reducing roadway crashes and fatalities. The police department says it will use the money to print informational pamphlets and pedestrian and bicycle safety to be handed out to kids and teens. Additionally, the department will purchase about 40 bike helmets to distribute to those in need, and 3 new LiDAR devices for speed enforcement. Thanksgiving may be in the rearview mirror, but we wanted to bring you one more story about the holiday of gratitude. Robert Paris has this report from an Interfaith Thanksgiving service.
It is time to give thanks for everything we have in life. At the United Church of Christ Congregational, clergy members from the community came together for a special Interfaith Thanksgiving service on November 20th.
This is my first Interfaith Thanksgiving service here in Burlington. I just started here at the UCC Burlington in August. Immediately, I was welcomed in by this awesome interfaith clergy group that we have, people from all different kinds of faiths, different types of churches, and so the tradition is that it's always the new guy's job to host the service and have to preach. They told me that right away, but there's so much love and support from this interfaith clergy group, and it shows on a night like this when we come together to worship together and give thanks.
I really had a great time. We had so many interfaith friends here, and we had a great choir, and the band was wonderful. We had a special address by our state rep, who was just incredible. Reverend Harris, the new guy on the block, he passed with flying colors. He did an excellent job, and the music was just wonderful. So it was just a wonderful spirit and a much needed, lighthearted feeling of togetherness.
Everyone reflected on what they enjoy most about the holiday that brings everyone together.
I love being here. I mean, year after year we come, we get together as a group, people, of all different faiths, of all different ideas, and what brings us together is we just have respect and compassion for people, and we're grateful for where we are. Burlington is wonderful. Massachusetts is a wonderful place. We have a lot to be thankful for.
It's a time when we can get together as a family and find something that we have in common with, no matter whether we're Democrats or Republicans or where we fall in the political spectrum. We're all Americans, and that's something. It's a holiday which unites us in the spirit of country, and it reminds us that we're members of a very special nation.
Thanksgiving is actually one of my favorite holidays for a couple reasons. One, it's not really a religious holiday, so I don't have to work. But two, it's a time where we celebrate gratitude. We celebrate an emotion. There's not a Santa Claus or an Easter Bunny or any sort of strange commercial thing. We just get together and give thanks for the things that we have. I wish we could have that Thanksgiving spirit all the time, every day, but for at least that one day, being grateful and giving thanks and sharing that with people you love is such an important thing to do.
From the UCC, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Welcome to the new guy at UCC. From the season of thanks to the season of giving, Chris Flaherty brings us a story about local celebrities bringing some joy to children in need.
The season of giving is upon us, and to ensure every child has a present to open for the holidays, Carson and Kennedy of Mix 104.1 kicked off their annual 10,000 Toys for Girls and Boys Drive at Burlington Mall on Saturday, November 18th.
We give all the toys to the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program, and we go, every weekend, different spots. Actually, some days during the week to all these different Simon Mall properties. They've partnered with us as well as Catch Us All Group.
And this is our 11th year, and over the past 10 years, our listeners have donated over 100,000 toys. So it's pretty incredible, and we're just hoping to break a record this year.
Simon Properties has been in partnership with Carson and Kennedy since the beginning of the toy drive, and Burlington Mall has been a regular stop every year.
Burlington shows out every time. Burlington is always one of our best stops.
100%.
The community is always there to help out, to support. We'll also get managers from different stores from here at Burlington Mall. We always start here, and it's usually one of our best stops. So Burlington, shout out to them. They always do a great job.
They give us the space, and they support what we do here, and they have been a huge supporter of ours since the very, very beginning of Carson and Kennedy's 10,000 Toys for Girls and Boys. So that's why we're here.
This time of year, Carson, Kennedy, and the Mix 104.1 team look to give back and help those less fortunate in spirit of the holidays.
Well, I've been in a position before where my family didn't have for the holidays, and I always remember that, and it was always in the back of my mind that if we were ever in a position to be able to help out others, and so that's just a part of the reason why that we do it. And I'm a veteran too. She's been around the military as well, and so being involved with a veteran organization like the Marine Corps, and then knowing that there are going to be kids that don't have this holiday season, just kind of breaks our heart a little bit. And so we can use our show and our station and all of our resources to help get these toys to these kids. So that feels really good.
But the cool thing is watching these kids come back year after year. We see them when they're babies, and then they grow up and have a birthday party, and they say, I took one toy from my birthday party and I kept the rest in the closet, and I saved them for today, and they bring them here. And it's that level of kindness from our young people that just makes my Grinch heart grow every year.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your Entertainment Buzz.
Carson and Kennedy aren't the only people making the holidays a bit merrier. We Care Burlington is collecting toys so that families in need can go shopping for that perfect gift. Here's Tad Stefanak with the story.
We Care Burlington is a local nonprofit volunteer organization that provides essential needs to families with young children through donations. And with the season upon us, We Care is looking to make children's holidays bright.
It's going to be a busy few weeks coming up now. We are expecting people to be dropping off toys, different businesses around town that are collecting for us. There's a big need for holiday cheer for the little ones, of course, at this time of the year. So it also takes a lot of stress off of the parents. Moms and dads are just, home trying to figure out how they're going to make this work. That's where we step in. We just try and help and fill some of those needs and put smiles on children's faces, hopefully. We collect clothing and toys, shoes, books, very gently worn from newborn to size 14, 16. If you have items to drop off, new toy items for children this year, you can get in touch with us and make an appointment so that we know that you're coming.
Hi! Thank you so much.
So that we can gather what you have and sort it and have it ready for distribution. At this time of the year, we're really hoping to collect some new items as well to give out at Christmas, but we will never turn away anything that's gently used. There's always a need. We collect year-round, we collect off-season because we just have to, so we're ready for the next season to come, and so that parents know that they don't have to worry about what their children will be wearing or playing with or reading. If you need help with toys this holiday season, just feel free to reach out and leave a message, and we'll get back in touch with you, and we will have you come in and pick out some items that your children would love.
So be sure and schedule your appointment. From We Care Burlington, I'm BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak.
Common Craft in the Burlington Mall has a special offering this winter. They're partnering with Alaleo, a Boston-based Sicilian natural wine brand, for a special menu and wine selection. Items include the Alaleo Ape Wine and food truck, and the idea is to evoke the spirit of Sicily. The offering began in mid-November. December can be a difficult month for older adults, so the Burlington Seniors Center has jam-packed the month with exciting activities for all interested. BNews producer Sydney Bowles spoke with Council on Aging's Marge about what's on the docket.
So we try to keep December busy. December can be really hard for people who live alone and have had a lot of losses. So our goal is to keep them from really, at least during the day, feeling those losses as much and giving them stuff to look forward to. So on Tuesday the 5th, we have Drum Fusion, which is monthly. We have it every first Tuesday. And it's literally just drumming. You know, we've got a leader, and he brings drums in, and it's very meditative, right? So it kind of brings the stress levels down, and the rhythm of the drums, and concentrating on, hitting those drums to the rhythm, make you forget about everything else.
The full interview with Marge is available on our website, bcattv.org. The high school sports world is transitioning from fall to winter activities. Anthony Matos has this look at the very latest.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos. This is your weekly sports report. The fall season has just about wrapped up. Red Devil football closed out the season on Thanksgiving with Bedford. BNews volunteer Bill Hayes has more.
On a beautiful Thanksgiving Day morning, Burlington honored the senior members of the marching band, cheerleaders, and football players prior to the traditional game against Bedford. The pregame ceremony was the highlight of the day, unfortunately. In this game, following their playoff loss to Tewksbury, Burlington played uninspired football for most of the first half and found themselves down 13-0. But that changed late in the second quarter when Joey Poland capped an 8-play, 44-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown run. Josh Pupa's extra point made it 13-7. Bedford then marched 99 yards down the field and scored with 8 seconds left in the first half. Burlington trailed 20-7 at halftime. The Devils scored twice in the third quarter when Anthony Guerrier found Charlie Hannafin in the end zone to make the score 20-13. After another Bedford score, Burlington had their best drive of the day. Guerrier completed all 7 passes, and Ryan Brooks capped the 65-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown completion to make the score 27-19. Bedford would score again to close out the game. The final score from Varsity Field was Bedford 34 and Burlington 19. The Devils finished the season at 6-4.
BNews sports reporter Robert Paris talked with Anthony Guerrier and Joey Poland after the game.
I'm glad I got picked as captain and, my leadership throughout this team. I hope other people, the juniors and all the underclassmen can learn from me, and we can get the league next year. And we played really hard this year. We made a lot of good stuff happen this year, and we just weren't ready today. They were the better team today. I'm glad they support me, come to every game. They come all the way from Burlington to every away game, and, I love them for that, and I can't thank them enough. I'm going to miss the whole team. I'm going to miss football. I'm going to miss the coaches, and, yeah.
Tough game, emotional, of course. Seniors' last game. What a class of seniors they are. A step in the right direction for our program. Like next year, big things. Off season's going to be huge very highly of next year. We're confident. But overall, I thought we played a great season. I don't know. We lost a few close games throughout the year, but this one hurts.
Lady Devils cheerleading was at Worcester State for the Fall State Championship on the weekend of November 17th. Burlington came in second out of 16 with a total of 92.1 and also won the Middlesex League and placed second in regionals. Congrats on a great season, girls. Red Devil hockey has 4 scrimmages going into the weekend and next, including Massacomet, Framingham, Concord Carlisle, and Waltham. Girls hockey has 1 scrimmage against Billerica. We'll have updates next week on both teams. Girls basketball has 2 scrimmages before the regular season with Linfield and Ipswich before the season opener in Reading. Boys basketball also has 1 scrimmage in Tingsboro before the December 12th kickoff. Updates next week. The Red Devils boys cross-country team had 11 athletes compete in the All-State Championship meet on November 18th in Devens. For the full results, go to bcattv.org/sports. 4 seniors departed from the team, including Colin Irwin, Shaunak Renboker, Ayush Agarwal, and Alex Murray. Gaming is now an official athletic sport at Burlington High School. The program esports has been getting more popular. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris has more.
Down at Burlington High School, a group of athletes prepare for their upcoming matches, video game style. The team is called Esports. It meets inside Area 123. Running the program is Leroy Wan and assistant coach Nolan Hart.
A lot of students enjoy playing video games, period. We informally had like a club, and then I guess it became officially competition as of maybe 2019 or 20. And this is the first year that we're actually considered part of athletics. And so that's been sort of like the evolution of us starting informally with just playing games, learning about them, to being a club, to now being part of athletics. So my role, I think, is really just to kind of like motivate the group. So I just kind of like try to provide like the games, overall manage the group.
As an assistant coach for the team, sports advisor, some of my duties are to make sure that we have meetings on days like these after school, where we have opportunities to practice as a team. Some of my other responsibilities include on Thursdays when it's our game day, I help with some of our teams trying to make sure that they get in contact with our other opponents so that we have a match that day. And I also broadcast some of our games on our Twitch channel. But those are pretty much my responsibilities.
Leading the way this season are captains and seniors Anthony Matos and Matthew Gendron.
Run this team how I want this team run. I want everyone to be good at the game, but also have fun. Like, you're not competing to compete, you're competing to have fun. Right now we have Rocket League, we have Madden, we're gonna have Apex Legends, we're gonna have Fortnite, we're gonna have Minecraft. There's gonna be tons of teams in the future, and I'm just excited to see how it turns out.
It's fun, you know, I get to kind of like work with like every single person on the team instead of kind of focusing more on myself. Like I get to, like me and Matos, we kind of like work on like what strategy we wanna use going to the league, like what like formations or different teams that we wanna use to give all of us the best opportunity to win, because, you know, that's kind of the goal. You know, of course we want to have fun, but it's also, you know, it's competitive, so we're trying to win, and me and Matos, like, we're the captains, so we have to try to give everybody and ourselves the best opportunity to win.
The other athletes are enjoying the time playing with their friends and competing.
At the time, I wasn't doing a lot outside of school, so I wanted to kind of get something that I could do outside of school and it would be with friends, so joined the team, went to the practice and stuff, and really enjoyed it.
Esports is getting quite a following, as the program may lead athletes to scholarship opportunities.
It's just kind of cool seeing it as being this fun thing to now being this thing that you can actually compete in, and to have like organizations that run these competitions, to have colleges offer scholarships. You know, even if they don't go to that level of playing collegiately or professionally, it's just a fun thing for us to do, just like really any other sport. That's kind of how I see it.
From Area 123, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
We'll have a couple of playoff matches coming up on December 5th with the Rocket League team and 3 of the Madden NFL teams. Updates next week. For more on the teams, go to the following website. For more Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNEWS Sports. That's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
Now let's have a look at the weather with Peter Brown, and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown to look at your weather for the next 7 days. I hope you all had a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Here we are now, I know it's hard to believe, heading in towards the start of meteorological winter. Yes, Friday, December 1st, is the unofficial start to winter. Now, starting with our period on Friday, We should be seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 40s at this time of the year. That's about where we're going to be heading in towards the weekend. Unfortunately, we're going to have a pretty unsettled pattern coming up over the next 7 days. Doesn't look like anything in terms of frozen precipitation, or at least much of it. And as we round up the period getting in towards next Thursday, our temperatures keep cooling down into the mid-40s. And actually, by the time we get to the end of our period, it's probably going to be struggling to get out of the mid-30s. So pretty chilly as we round out the period. And of course, looking at our temperature map, you're expecting us to have a chance of above average temperatures. I'm definitely seeing that for the first half of our period and starting our work week, but thereafter as we get in towards Tuesday and through next Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like it's going to get pretty chilly, so that's going to balance any mild air out that we have here in the Burlington area. And looking at our precipitation chances, they're looking at us to have above average chances of precipitation. That's what I'm seeing, as well as we're going to see a chance of some wet weather pretty much for most of the period until we get to the start of next work week. It doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any snow this weekend, but just keep in mind you're going to have to keep that umbrella handy. Temperatures not too bad, but cooling off a little bit by the time we get to Sunday with some chilly showers maybe around. Then as we get into Monday, it looks like the sun's going to be out for the first half of the day. Thereafter, we're going to see some rain trying to move in, with temperatures starting out near 50 and then cooling off as we get into Monday night into early Tuesday morning. This is when we're going to have a developing area of low pressure, we think, passing to the south and east of New England. We're going to have to see how close that gets to us. If it's a little bit further away, we should get maybe more in the way of maybe some light snow mixed with that rain out there. A little bit closer to us, could be a little bit heavier in terms of precipitation. Going to be a little bit breezy out there as you go out to work on Tuesday morning. Just keep in mind, we could have a little bit of a mess out there. Nothing too serious as of now. Thereafter, as we get in towards the end of our period, getting into the middle and the end of next work week, the sun is going to come back out, but those temperatures are going to plunge behind that storm system that's passing to our south and east, with our highs struggling to get out of the mid-30s. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, and welcome to the Burlington Brief. I'm your host, Sydney Bowles.
And I'm your other host, Sarah Eschelman. We're here to bring you a no-nonsense,
maybe a little nonsense,
guide to what's happening in Burlington, from major capital projects to schools to business and society.
Tune in every week for fresh interviews with people at the center of local news and conversations between two journalists who know what's up. So subscribe to the Burlington Brief to make sure you don't miss a single thing and get the best of local news delivered right to your ears.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On December 6th from 6 to 8 p.m., Exit Premier Realty is having a fundraiser to help support the nonprofit Help Us. For more information about this event and other items to bring, go to our website under the Community Calendar section. On December 7th from 5:30 to 8 p.m., Women Aid is having a Parents' Night Out fundraiser. Drop off your child at Burlington High School for a fun night of games, crafts, face painting, food, and more. $20 per child, and for more information, go to the Women Aid Facebook page. Also on December 7th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department has special arrangements with Santa to give calls to the children in town. Registration is required, and to sign up, call the Rec. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
As we do every week, we're leaving you with a photo sent in by a member of the community. Kevin Carnell sent this one in. He says he captured this as the crowd sang the national anthem at the Thanksgiving Day football game here in Burlington. Thank you, Kevin. If you have a photo you'd like to share with us in the community, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And one last note before we go, the Fox Hill Building Committee is preparing to submit the next stage for their plans to rebuild the elementary school, and they're hosting a community forum to answer questions and share the latest information. The event is scheduled for Tuesday, December 5th at 7 p.m. at the school committee room in the Burlington High School. In-person attendance is recommended, but you can also watch the meeting live on BCAT and on our Facebook page. We'll leave you with some images from the Thanksgiving Day football game shared by Christina Nikitas. That's our program for this evening. I'm your host, Phil Gallagher. Thank you for watching. See you next week.